Here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
Protests erupted in Greece Wednesday as the Greek parliament approved harsh new austerity measures in exchange for a third European bailout. Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras won the parliamentary vote by a vote of 229 to 64. But 32 members of his own Syriza party voted against the plan, including former Finance Minister Yannis Varoufakis. Greece's Deputy Finance Minister Nadia Valavani resigned ahead of the vote.
I'm not going to vote for this agreement, and this meant that I cannot stay as a member, I cannot stay in the government. It's only decent that, I surrender my minister.
Greek politicians approved the harsh austerity measures just days after voters rejected similar reforms in a referendum. The measures include retirement age increases, tax hikes, public spending cuts, pension adjustments, and collective bargaining restructuring in exchange for up to $94 billion. Ahead of the vote on Wednesday, Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras expressed his reservations about the bailout, but urged Parliament to support it anyway.
I will admit that the measures we are tabling are harsh, and I don't agree with them. I don't believe they'll help the Greek economy, and I say so openly. But I also say that I must implement them. That is our difference.
The vote came amid worker strikes, peaceful marches, and violent clashes between protesters and police across Athens. Demonstrators spoke to the Real News Network about why they oppose the deal.
We've come here to protest against the austerity program of the new Greek government, because it's an austerity program much worse than that of the right wing, and they are using the so-called, under parentheses, left-wing government in order to implement the program that they couldn't do it with the right wing and the center-wing government.
I don't have a job. Do you see that? And now the thing is that they don't going to take more people on their jobs. They're going to fire people because they don't have enough money to pay.
I think that the working masses, as the new memorandum goes on, they will realize on their own skin the austerity of the program, and they will abandon the governing party.
Well, for more, we go now to Thessaloniki, Greece. That is Greece's second largest city, where protests also broke out on Wednesday. We're joined by Theodoros Kariotis, a sociologist, translator, and activist who's been participating in grassroots movements and protesting austerity in Greece. Welcome to Democracy Now! Can you talk about the vote that took place in the Greek parliament yesterday, Theodoros, and the response in the streets?
Yeah, of course, as they announced, it would be a package of really harsh measures, and the main opposition to these measures right now is the own-based Syriza party, including the Syriza Youth and many associations linked to Syriza, and about 30, as we saw, of their own members of parliament. The protest in the street, it was much... Let's say it was not as massive as when the previous austerity packages were voted in. That is probably the outcome of 2 weeks of campaign of terror and blackmail on behalf of the Central European Bank and our European partners mainly, who have Greece on a chokehold, on financial chokehold, and have tried to instill fear on most people in order to accept this austerity package.
And Theodoros, could you explain, are protesters there calling for Greece to leave the Eurozone?
Of course, one of the main criticisms of the anti-austerity movements in general towards Syriza is that it's never really opened the public dialogue on the future of Greece outside the Eurozone. It's never really talked about the plan B, thinking that the plan A of ending austerity within the Eurozone purely by force of argument, because the arguments were really valid, would have a fortunate conclusion. We saw that
Theodoros, I'm going to interrupt because we have this breaking news from Wall Street Journal. Eurozone finance ministers agree in principle to grant 3-year bailout to Greece. Your quick response. You have 10 seconds.
Okay. As I was saying, there is a turning of the public feeling right now that they realize that the Eurozone is not compatible with social justice. So there are more and more voices that try to envision a future outside the Eurozone.
I want to thank you for being with us. Theodoros Kariotis, sociologist, activist, has been participating in grassroots movements protesting austerity in Greece, speaking to us from Thessaloniki. This is Democracy Now! Democracy Now! Is produced by Mike Burke, Renee Feltz, Steve Martinez, Sam Alkoff. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh. Thanks so much for joining us.